Good morning, everybody. This is Various Smith, and welcome to Saturday School. This is a live broadcast that we do every Saturday, and I'm one of the organizers of a group called the Inland Empire WordPress Meetup Group. What we're about is building the WordPress community here in Southern California in the Inland Empire. So if you are ever in this area, if you're ever in Southern California in the Inland Empire, we meet in Riverside, California, very close to Corona, California, Yorba Linda, Murrieta, Menifee, a lot of different cities in this area, but this is all considered the Inland Empire. Yorba Linda is actually Orange County, but it's really close. But if you are in this area, Redlands, come and join us at the Inland Empire. And I'm glad you're tuning in today. If you're catching this video as an archive on YouTube, feel free to contact myself. You can go to our website, and I'll be announcing all of this stuff now. So I'm going to share my screen, welcome in, and in the beginning of the broadcast, I make a few announcements. So this is what I'm about to do right now. So with that said, we as a group, the Inland Empire WordPress group, we're actually on we're here on Twitter. You can check us out. Actually, I'm sorry. Yeah, back here, Inland Empire WordPress. So check us out on twitter.com/IEWP. Follow us and get an update on the what's going on with the group here via Twitter. We're on Facebook, so come find us here. All you have to do is type in Inland Empire WP Meetup Group. We have a page. If you like that page, we're updating. And this morning I pushed out an update about the broadcast. We have a group. Inland Empire WordPress is our Facebook group. So this is a picture right here from a previous meetup. We meet every first Tuesday. And when we get together, we're basically talking about WordPress. We're talking about WordPress things and you know, different topics in order to help you get better with your WordPress skills. One other thing I would like to actually recommend you do is that if you do join this group, feel free to ask questions, because going through here, this group is all about helping you understand WordPress, helping you to use it in a better way, and just connecting you with the broader WordPress community. So check out our Facebook group. If you are on meetup.com, make sure you check us out there. We're on meetup.com, Inland Empire WP. So just go to meetup.com, Inland Empire WP. And here you can get a schedule of all of our events that are upcoming and the ones that have happened in the past as well. This is a great place to go. You could, like the last virtual meetup we had was on the 16th, or that's one of them we had previously. We have this virtual meetup every Saturday. So it's a great place for you to come and RSVP. And we also have our monthly meetups. which happens every first Tuesday of the month. The meetup that we just had, that just happened, was we had a guest speaker. His name was Greg Taylor. And so come, to meetup.com, RSVP for a future event. And we'll see you hopefully at one of these Riverside meetups. Our meeting place for the Riverside meetup is called Riverside IO. And this is a co-working / hacker space. They have a great facility, and they are letting us use this facility for our meetup, excuse me, at no charge. So if you are interested in joining this actual co-working spot, you can actually become a member for $100 a month, $50 a month for students. And it's really a great place to connect with small business owners, people who are into technology and things like that. And it's a great way for you to begin to connect with the tech community in Riverside.
Making a huge racket.
Oh, hold on.
Guys. So the next thing I wanted to mention is also that we have something called we have our website. So inlandempirewp.com / Saturday School is the page that I'm on here, but if you just go to inlandempirewp.com, then this is the website for our meetup group. I encourage you to come here and read a few articles. We have posted a few articles recently. Two of the members of our meetup, Greg has posted one from last meetup. We actually had our last meetup last Tuesday. If you come here, this was with our guest speaker, Greg Taylor. We have a brief bio of him. We have some information from his actual speech and some links, some very good links. I've linked the full audio of the meetup from his Podbean. Greg has a Podbean account, so I've linked that full audio there. You can go and watch it. Got a little video snippet and some photos. So it's something that you can come and check out. It's this most recent post that we've posted here, and another post that was posted by another member of our meetup under tutorials about your post image on Facebook. So you can check out the resources that we are building. We're beginning to build on this Inland Empire website, and the goal for this website this year is to make it a resource hub. So I will gladly I'd invite you to just come out and check this out. If you are setting up a WordPress website, then you are more than likely going to be using the open source software. With Saturday School, in Saturday School, we are covering the open source version. We are not covering the WordPress.com version of the WordPress software. So WordPress.org is the resource hub you need to go to for this software. I encourage you to go to this website, check out what is available to you. You can download the actual WordPress software. There's a big blue button on the front page that will take you to the download. You can get support in the forums. So if you're not in a Facebook group, if you're not going to meetups yet, you can get support in the forums. You can read the documentation. The documentation includes everything starting from the most fundamental information about WordPress to the most in-depth. So whether you're just barely beginning or you're just really wanting to dig deep and find out a particular WordPress function, the documentation is perfect for you. There are also free themes and free plugins and a showcase. So you can find out exactly where WordPress is being used, how you can use it to your advantage, and some really good examples and a lot of free stuff. So you don't have to necessarily go to a premium theme place to buy premium themes right off the bat. Maybe you find a theme for your website or something, a look and feel. The theme is basically the look and feel. Should not carry a lot of functionality, but maybe you find something here. And with the plugins, you're going to be able to increase the functionality of your website through the plugins. There are over 42,000 plugins, and so there's plenty here for you. I'd also like to tell you about WordCamps. The WordCamps are actual informal community organized events that are put together by WordPress users. So there is a WordCamp coming up in Paris on the 5th and 6th, and the next one coming up in the United States is going to be WordCamp Miami, and Greg, who is on this broadcast, he's going to be going to WordCamp Miami. But they happen all over the United States, all over the world, and these are great weekends for you to find out about what's going on in the WordPress community, connect with people in the WordPress community, whether they're a developer, designer, or just a WordPress business owner / user. You can connect with people at these WordCamps and also get up to speed on some of the most fundamental things of WordPress or some of the newest things in WordPress. Get knowledge about some really great businesses that are run by WordPress and on WordPress. All of these things you're going to learn when you're connecting in the WordPress community through a WordCamp. Another thing I wanted to really bring out is WordPress TV. And WordPress.tv is a place, it's a resource where you can go to watch broadcasts of previous WordCamps. Make sure you check these out because you'll get a feel about what these WordCamps are like and these events that are happening on a regular basis throughout the United States. Check that out, WordPress TV. And there's just a lot of resources, a lot of things you can learn as well. And finally, I like to talk about Desktop Server. This is a great product that we do use during Saturday School. You can go to serverpress.com and get a copy, a free copy. You can download a copy for free and begin to set up WordPress websites on your desktop absolutely free of charge. And it's very easy and straightforward, as you will begin to see later. And a great way for you to build your WordPress websites. So that is it for the announcements. And I will stop sharing my screen for now because I actually am now going to just share a slideshow just to talk about the most basic things of Saturday School. Here we go. So, welcome to Saturday School once again. This is hosted by the Inland Empire WordPress Meetup group and myself, Various Smith. And here we go. Who are we? We're a group of WordPress enthusiasts in the Inland Empire. We meet once a month. I talked a little bit about this. Every first Tuesday in person, discuss all things WordPress. We meet via live stream, as we are now, virtually, every Saturday for Saturday School. You can find the archives on YouTube. We meet in our online Facebook group, which you can go back to through the archive, or find us on Facebook. Just research or just search Inland Empire WordPress. Doesn't matter if you've been working with WordPress platform for a short time, not at all, or many years. We welcome you to our family. Come and learn. So, why Saturday School? Saturday School was created to help fill in the gaps of learning that members of the Inland Empire WordPress Meetup group had, and the gaps of learning that those had who will find this broadcast on YouTube channel afterward. What do we cover in Saturday School? We cover the basics of WordPress theme setup and administration without needing to touch the code, the accompanying tools, and fundamental principles of understanding how to use WordPress as a content management system. And that is what we cover in Saturday School. I will stop there. And I have one other slideshow as we begin. I want to share with you. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this is the WP theme setup guide, and we've been through discovery. We've actually been through initial setup, and today we're going to actually be covering page templates, which is under the basic keys to getting it. So I will go to that slide. I'm going to have to share my entire screen instead of just these slides. So page templates come as parts of the options of premium themes, and not only premium themes, but also just the free themes in the repository. You can find those as well. And they can also be created with the help of page builder plugins. The variety of pre-built page templates that come as part of the premium and free themes determine the actual page layout. One other method used in some themes to create page layouts are widgets. Each of these options act as a way to make your site look different. So today we're going to start on page templates, and we covered quite a bit in the last couple of weeks, and here we go. So we are last week we ended with post types, and we went through just the plain post type. We went through a page post type. We went through all of the post types. There are 5 post types by default. If I were to go back to the slide for that, there's, these are all the post types: the attachment post type, the post type, the page post type, the revision post type, navigation menu post type. Really, every piece of content in a WordPress install, technically it's a post. And so there are just different types of posts. If you understand that, then you understand one of the very fundamental things of these post types. Now, today we're going to be kind of zooming into the page post type, talking about the page templates. I have my website here, Saturday School Season 2. Here's my local development area that I've activated via desktop server, and this is a PHP and MySQL environment that I'm running on my local computer through desktop server, or through which can be found at serverpress.com. And here's my website. This is not on my server. This is not on a host like GoDaddy. It's on my desktop. So this is a website that I've installed, and you can go back to some of the previous videos. I believe I installed this on probably video 11 or 12. You can go back and check that out. But I'm going to go to my dashboard because I've been steadily building upon this particular website, Saturday School Season 2.dev. I go to my my dashboard, then I want to go to Pages because we are talking about page templates. And once I go to my page, I can click on All Pages and find the 2 pages that I've created so far. I'm just going to go and edit one of these pages, and I'm going to check out to see really if there's any page templates on here that I want to use in particular. So here's sample page 2, and what I'll do is, just to make it a little bit easier, I'm going to hold down Command and click on this link right here, the permalink, which opens this page in a new tab. And on this page, I can see the sample page. It gives me a layout with a sidebar, it's a regular header. This is the menu that I've created. Content area on the left, a title, and it looks like the title is repeated. The same page title is repeated here. And then I have my content area here. So this is just a basic right sidebar page template layout. Coming to my editor, if I switch back over in tabs and I come to my editor, then on the right side underneath Publish, I see something called Page Attributes. And I'll just cover this box here because this is where the page templates are included. We first have something underneath the title Page Attributes called Parent. You can choose whether or not in the hierarchical structure of your website this sample page has a parent. That means whether this sample page becomes a child of sample page 2. I can choose to make that a child, and then it would be a step down within the actual structure of the website. But I'm going to leave this at no parent for now. And I'll now look at the page templates. So with this current theme that is installed, I only have 2 page templates, which is good. I mean, some themes have 0 page templates. And for this theme, I have a blog page template and I have a home page template. So what I'll do is I will just switch the page template here to blog. And there's one other attribute here called order. Now, this is, if you're familiar working with different types of content management systems, this order is actually a kind of an old attribute that was inside of many different content management systems that will allow you to set the order in which this page appears in the navigation. With WordPress, you can change all of this via drag and drop. You don't even have to worry about what number in the order this appears. So this has kind of become irrelevant, this order attribute. You can still use it if you understand how it works, but it's in a sense irrelevant. So I'm changing the template, the page template, to blog. I'll click update. And I'll go back out to the tab that I was at previously, and I can see this is the original default page template, but I've changed it to blog, and I'm going to refresh this page and see what happens. What does it look like? So it now has a blog post on it. Actually, it looks like a blog post, but it's the same content from the previous page. So in a sense, it added this data, which is metadata, the post author, the post date, whether or not there are comments on it, and there's one other attribute that appears to be empty here. It just really added this metadata here. Didn't really change a lot. but this is the blog template. And it did add a kind of a thumbnail here of a pencil. So that wasn't on the previous default page template. I wouldn't really want that to be the page template for just a page, because it looks like a blog, and that's what the name of it was. So now I'm going to look at the home page template here, and I will save it and update it and see what happens. And while I do that, I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to share this browser tab here in particular so that I can focus in. Okay, so here we go. So I have now saved the home page and the home page template, and I'm going back and I'm going to refresh it, and we'll see what happens. So this one is the home page template. So let's see. Okay, so this is really nice, and you see this page template. Now that I have this as the home page template, there is there's a different page layout. We have our menu at the top. We have an area right here, which is like a hero area, which has 4 icons, which are four different types of services. I could probably go with this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this here, and we're going to look at how we can modify this home page template, because they've added a few cool themes in here. It got a really nice background image, something like a I guess what you would call a parallax effect, and there's also at the bottom features of our latest post, and this makes more sense as a home page. If I wanted to just have a home page, this makes more sense to me. But at the same time, I would need to know how to change these elements and make sure that they are what I need for my business or for what I'm doing personally for my website. So with page templates, that can become the confusing part, is that you have to find out, okay, where do I change the elements in this page template? And I may have mentioned it before, different themes have different, they approach the way you change their theme in different ways. Sometimes they use an options framework, and then sometimes if they're if they are in the more modern way of developing their theme, and they're following the WordPress way in a more strict way, then they're setting things up via the customizer, which is smart. And I'm really glad that the customizer has been added. And there's been debate on many sides whether or not the customizer is a good choice, or things that people didn't like about the customizer. But the customizer is one of those things that actually allows you to affect the way your website looks. So what we're going to do is go to Appearance, and we're going to first go to the customizer to see if we can change things on the front page via the customizer. That would be the first thought of mine, is, okay, can I change things on the front page via the customizer? I may not be able to change things on the front page via the customizer because this may be an older theme, but time will tell. So here I am in the customizer, which is a way for me to change things in real time. And when I get to the customizer, I don't see the front page. I actually see the post page. This is the post page. So let's go back to the front page. Here's the front page, and let's see if I can navigate within the customizer, because these links are active. Okay, it's not allowing me to navigate within the customizer. Well, at least I wasn't allowed to click on the homepage link, which is a little bit weird. Okay, so now I can click on the homepage link. All right, so here I did click on the homepage link, but it's showing me still a post page. Here we go. I go here back to the homepage. I just want to see what things look like. And let's look. There's matrix options. We got general options here, which allow me to change and upload the logo, change the width of the logo, the font size. These are just options within the customizer. I just clicked the X, so it's going to take me out of the customizer. And I'll go back into it. All right. So we've got our home page. This is the page template. Now we are looking for, okay, where are we supposed to modify this home page? So if I look through here, I could have just read there's matrix options, site identity, colors, header image, background image, menus, widgets, and then there's static front page. That's what I want to click on. So, okay, so static front page allows me to change the options within the customizer to have a static front page. So the reason I'm not seeing the front page that I see here, this page template, because I have not set a static front page, and you have to do that. So I'm going to set a static front page now. And this is probably one of the most fundamental things I should have done in the beginning, but here we go. We're making the corrections. So I'm setting sample page to static front page, and now I can see my front page here. And then for the post page, let's just set sample page 2. And that's where my blog post can show up. Most of the time, I would name the blog post page. I would name that blog. So now that I've set my static front page, I'm going to save it. Save and publish. Let's see what happens. So now we saved it, and I can go back out to the website, and I'm going to click on, instead of clicking on the logo because it's not allowing me to, I'm just going to remove sample page part of the permalink, press enter, and it's going to take me to the home page of Saturday School Season 2. Here we have it. A bunch, well, this is our home page setup. So we're using the home page or the home page template now. And I'm going to exit the customizer for now, because what I want to do is explore a little bit. And I'm using one theme, but let's go. If I wanted to find a different theme, I can always go to the automatic theme installer, click add new, and I can actually filter out the available themes in the free theme repository. I actually clicked on plugins, but I need to go to appearance, themes, and then click add new, because we're using matrix right now. But I can go to this automatic theme installer. These are pulling the free themes from WordPress. And I can look through here. I may want to use one of these themes. I can click on feature filter, and we've been through this a little bit already in the beginning. And I can choose whatever theme I want. But if I just were to look at some of the popular themes and install another theme, then most of these themes have different page templates. Some of these are more extravagant than others, and so they'll have more or less page templates. So let's just try one other theme, and let's look at what the page templates look like for that theme. So we're going to take a little bit of a wild, kind of a wild guess. This looks like a really nice business theme. It's called One Tone, and I'm pretty sure they have different types of page templates on it. I'm going to install that one. Oh, well, look at that. It says powerful one-page template. So if it's a one-page website, then more than likely it is not. It is not a. It's not going to have other page templates. So sorry about that. Let's install another one. Click on Add New, and Casa theme. Let's just get some details on here. Casa green is 2 columns, HTML5, CSS3. Responsive WordPress theme. The theme is light and green. Best used for any niche. All features are controllable within theme options. Okay, so they have theme options. We know that. Let's look at a few more. Just to make sure we get what we want. We're on the feature themes. Let's go to popular really quick. All right, so Vantage, let's look at this one. It's a flexible multi-purpose theme with strength slides and tight integration with some powerful plugins like Page Builder and responsive page layouts. So it says it has responsive page layouts, which means that probably several page layouts. Let's go ahead and install that one. It's got 104 ratings and it's rated at 4.5 stars. So it's got to have something good to it. I'm going to activate this theme. Okay. So the theme is active and it takes me directly to the customizer. Save and activate. I actually was on preview theme and then I had to save and activate the theme. So here's the theme. It's actually a pretty nice theme. And this is the home page. This is the menu that we created previously from, I believe, last week when we were talking about the post types. It's got a very nice slider and very clean layout. Sample page is currently set to the home page, so it's got this home page layout. It's a very clean layout. It's got a right sidebar here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Edit Page, and let's check out which other page templates this has. So we have a default page template, full width page template, full width page with no title, and then we also have a page builder home. That sounds interesting. Let's click on that and let's see what it's going to give us. We're going to update that. And much of what you do when you're working or putting your site together or configuring, I guess the best word is going to be configuration. When you're configuring your website, you're going to need to try several things. So don't be afraid that you're going to break something. The thing about that is that you have if you have a local install of your website, then you don't have to worry about breaking anything because it's not live. So we set up the page template as page builder home. We went back out to the home page and it looks about the same. And I'm pretty sure that the page builder is an option now here. So if I see here, I see page builder, and this theme uses site origin page builder, which is a page builder that I am familiar with. It's pretty straightforward. There are lots of page builders out there, but this is another great way for you to create a page layout, and that's using a page builder. We will not go into depth with this page builder, but let's just install it and let's see what happens. We'll just look at a few options of the page builder. A great way for you to build a page layout is through a page builder. I've installed the plugin. So it installed the plugin when I click on Page Builder because it needs this plugin as another function of the website to help you build this page layout. I'm activating the plugin now. And now that it's active, I need to go back to Pages. I click on All Pages, and I can go back to Sample Page, which is my front page. Click Edit. And it's using the Page Builder page template. I've activated Site Origins Page Builder, and I can click on the actual tab for that, and it asks me, hey, would you like to copy this editor's existing content to Page Builder? Well, in order for me to be able to use the Page Builder, I would have to copy that over. Say OK. And here, Site Origin gives me, their particular layout or their particular interface for their Page Builder. And there really is a lot inside of Site Origin's Page Builder. And I'll just update the page because we just changed it to a Page Builder layout. We've activated Site Origin. We've copied the information from the previous page over into the Site Builder. Now I've updated the page. I'm going to refresh it because I want to see what happened. And nothing's really changed. I refreshed it, nothing's really changed. And so in order for me to really help you understand Site Origin's Page Builder, we'd have to probably do an entirely different lesson. But just know that Site Origin gives you options to add, you can add roles and pre-built options like different types of modules to your layout in order to give yourself the look and feel that you desire without having to really touch the code. I think page builders are really helpful in the sense that if you don't really know the code and you want to create a different type of layout, you can do it through a page builder. So, however, that is not part of our lesson, so I will continue to move on. So hopefully you get the concept of the page templates. We're going to move on. The remainder. Okay, so I'm going to need to share a different part of my screen here. 1 second. All right. So we're gonna move on to the remainder. Okay. So when I say the remainder, I just mean like these are just a bunch of other small essentials that you need to know. All right. So talking about setup and maintenance. So as I mentioned before, as you're setting up your website or as you're setting up your theme to begin to do exactly what you want it to do and to look the way it actually looked when you purchase it, like you just really need to make sure of a few things, and this is a little bit of a review. You do need to make sure that you have a local and a remote install of your theme. And desktop server helps with that, but then also having your own web host so that you can push out your changes to your actual web host after you're finished. You're going to need that. Let me go here. And as far as different types of plugins and different essential plugins that are needed for setup. I mean, there are so many that you can use, but most of the themes that you'll get they'll come with recommended plugins. These themes that I've installed so far, they don't really have recommended plugins, but those are, they're the part of that setup and maintenance process. We'll talk a little bit about roles and capabilities as well. So when you first install your website, you are the administrator. You are like there are by default. Let's go back. There are 6 user roles in a self-hosted WordPress by default. One role is unique to WordPress networks only. So if you're using a WordPress network, the only role that's different from a self-hosted single install WordPress is the super administrator. So the super administrator for WordPress networks allows you to control the entire network. Users on the network, different sites that you admit into the network. You can even make your WordPress network a multi-network. But that is the only difference between a single install and a network install. But the 6 roles and capabilities for your WordPress setup include administrator, editor, author, contributor, and subscriber. And as I mentioned before, well, actually, the first user on your WordPress multi-site is a super administrator. The first user on a single site WordPress install is an administrator. So you got super admin and regular admin. And I'm just going to take you to the codex link here to give you a little bit more detail. If you go to this page, codex.wordpress.org, roles and capabilities. This gives you a little bit more insight on these roles, a lot of detail, and even ways that you can use these different capabilities as you're developing. When if you ever get to the point of developing different features and functions for WordPress, then it goes in depth there as well. But this is a great place for you to start just to learn a little bit about the roles. So I'll read these summaries. Super admin is someone with access to the site network, administration features, and all other features. The administrator is somebody who can access all the administration features within a single site. The editor is somebody who can publish and manage posts, including the posts of other users. So an editor can manage posts of other users. An author, somebody who can publish and manage their own posts. So can't really do other users, but you can do your own. A contributor is someone who can write and manage their own posts, but they cannot publish them. So you can add a contributor to your website. They may not be able to publish a post, but they can write and submit to you. And then once that post has been submitted, it's a draft, you can choose to publish it if you're an administrator of that website. And a subscriber is someone who can only manage their profile. So these roles, they have different capabilities. Now, there are ways for you to modify the roles into, even add new roles into your WordPress install with different plugins. So there are different plugins that will allow you to have or to create new roles and capabilities. In order to find out about those, you only would have to go to the plugin repository, click Add New, and just do a search for roles and capabilities. I mean, it's going to bring up all of the plugins that fall underneath this category, and from there, it's really a testing game, to find the best plugin that you think you could use. Some of these are more well known, and some of these are less well known, and some have better ratings, others don't have as good ratings. So be sure that if you wanted to know more about roles and capabilities or even create your own, you can install that plugin. All right, so once again, we are at the place where I have not completed the remainder of the guide, but the next thing we're going to talk about is plugins, and hopefully next week I'll have more content on this. But so really, without covering the plugins, plugins add functionality to your website. We're actually here in the automatic plugin installer, and the way I actually I use analogies for different forms of helping people understand. And with plugins, the analogy I usually use is adding a capability to your car or even a room to your house. There are different ways that you can add different functions or abilities to your website. And a plugin is a way for you to add new abilities to your website. And as we just talked about the roles and capabilities of your website, I've also mentioned that you can add new user roles and capabilities through different types of plugins. Now, if you come to plugins and you go to installed plugins, you can see in your own WordPress install where or what plugins you currently have installed on your website. You can filter them by all plugins that are all the ones that are installed. You can filter them by the active plugins, which are 2. There's only 2 that are active on my website currently. You can filter them by inactive. So this is the plugins page, and you have a way to filter out these plugins. Each plugin, they do have, if you're looking at the list of plugins, each of these plugins has a way for you to activate the plugin. You could edit the plugin if you know what you're doing. I really don't recommend you ever editing plugins unless you want to make the plugin your own plugin and you're just completely changing the plugin. Or you can delete the plugin. Okay, so those are 3 options for installed plugins. And then you have the description of the plugin, which gives you a short description, the version number, who created the plugin, and a view details link. The cool thing about this view details link is that if you click on it, it opens a modal window, and you can basically see the information regarding this plugin. For some reason I was logged out here, so let's log myself back in, and I guess I'm going to have to refresh this just to view those details. Alright, so now I am viewing the details of this plugin in Kismet, and it's a great way for you to see kind of what's going on with this plugin. There's documentation. Sometimes there's, on these plugins. Now, all of this information is being pulled in from the remote WordPress plugin repository. If you go to wordpress.org/plugins, all of this information is being pulled in from there. So, Kismet is a very great plugin. If you want to add a new plugin, you go to Plugins, Add New, click there. And there are 2 ways to add plugins. You can install a plugin from here. For instance, if I wanted to install any one of these plugins like Theme Check, I'll just click on the install button, and it takes me through the install process, and I would activate the plugin, click Activate. And now I've installed and activated a plugin from the theme repository. Well, let's say I have a plugin on my desktop or on my computer. I can add plugins from my computer as well. So I'm going to click Add New. The way to do that, I'll click Add New, and I'll click Upload Plugin. And this is the place where I will upload a plugin from a desktop location or from my Dropbox, and I can click here where it says Choose File, and then it'll bring me a dialog window, that I can navigate through in order to find a plugin that I can install. So what I'll need to do, most of the time I would know exactly where a plugin is. I'll come through here and I'll go to Dropbox. And I'll go to WP Resources, Plugins. So I mean, like, I could install, you know, a plugin directly from my desktop as well. So this is a little cool plugin here. It's a menu management enhancer. Maybe I purchase this plugin from a third party like Code Canyon, or maybe I purchased it from WPMU Dev or purchased it from Gravity Forms. Any one of these places will allow me to download their plugins, but then I would need to install them from the desktop location, and this would allow me to do it. So I just installed a plugin for menu enhancing the menu management that I have. And there it is, Menu Management Enhancer. Boom. It's a plugin that I've purchased from Code Canyon. So 2 ways to install plugins: the automatic plugin installer, and the second way is the uploads way. Now there is an editor here for you to be able to edit these plugin files, which normally I would not recommend you come in and edit your own plugins. However, if you're just that curious, make sure you do it on your desktop with Desktop Server. So if you're just so curious that you want to come in here and look at these plugins, what's going on with them, you can edit them here. And then you're going to have to probably, if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to have to trash the plugin, get a new version. But I don't recommend it, and I usually turn this editor off. There's a way you can turn this editor off through your WP config file, so that, let's say you're working for a client, they never touch that. So that is a little bit about plugins. Let's see what's next. Menus. Okay, so we went through menus a little bit earlier. Menus can be created or edited from the Appearance menu section in your dashboard. In WordPress, you must build your menu first. Then you need to place your menu in a menu location for the menu to appear on the front end of the website. A common practice for free and premium themes is to include 3 default locations for an administrator to insert a menu. Usually those locations are main menu, header menu, and footer menu. This is not always present and is by no means a restriction. This depends on your theme. Sometimes there are more locations and sometimes there are less. So in order to get there, we're going to navigate to Appearance Menus. Appearance Menus. When I navigate to the menus area, then I can see the interface for the menus. And immediately I'll notice a tab next to the title that says Manage and Customizer. So I could manage these menus in the customizer if I want to, but first I'm going to walk you through the menu editor. So the first tab that we have is Edit Menus. This Edit Menus tab is the place where you create all the menus you want. Here on the left side, you have the menu elements that you would place into the right side, which is going to be your actual menu. So we created a menu called Primary 2 weeks ago, and we placed Primary in the theme location of Primary Menu. And we did not auto add pages. We did not select this auto add pages because we don't want to auto add every page that is a top level page into this menu. We want to have full control over it. However, you'll see these as you see the elements here on the left, you have pages, posts, custom links, categories, and format. Okay, these are different elements that you can place inside of your menu. And these elements are determined by what you've already selected under screen options. So to get to screen options, you go to the top right corner, and everything, when you click screen options, then you will see the boxes that are selected they all match these options on the left. So pages is selected, posts is selected, custom links is selected, categories, tags is not selected, but I could select tags and it appears there. Format. So all of these give you different elements to add to your menu. You can add advanced menu properties as well. Now these advanced menu properties will show up here underneath each actual individual element. So if I click this and expand this box, then I will be able to see where these advanced menu elements show up. So I can show advanced menu properties. You have title attribute. If I click that, it gives me a box for the title. And that's a HTML attribute behind the scenes that, you know, screen readers actually read, the title attribute. So sometimes you may want to go in here and activate that, and you want to write the name of your menu item in the title attribute. You have a link attribute. If I click that, then it places a new box here. Open link in new tab, and that's usually an HTML attribute called target. And so you don't have to write code here in WordPress. It's just making it very easy for you to know, okay, if somebody clicks on this link, I want it to open in a new window. So that is the link target. Instead of targeting the very same window, you're targeting a separate window. And that would be ideal for this link element that I created called Google. So if I expand the Google box for the link that I created, and I click open link in new tab, then that's perfect, because I don't want people to navigate away from my website if they're going to an external link. Okay, so I've selected that. I have not saved the menu. I've made a change, and every time I make a change I need to save, so I need to remember to save after I go over the rest of these advanced menu properties. Another advanced menu property is CSS classes. I can create a CSS class for each menu, for each menu item, so that I can specifically target this menu item via CSS or even via jQuery, because jQuery uses CSS classes. And if you're not familiar with jQuery, it's just a JavaScript library that allows me to do some advanced interface functionality. So I can do some user interface, some cool effects on the user interface if I add a particular CSS class here. The next advanced menu property is link relationship, or something called XFN. XFN stands for XML Friends Network, and this is something that is a little bit antiquated. It's a little bit older, and normally I don't select this. I could check it, and I can say, I can check the box, and I could add some the XFN information inside of there. But I don't use this because it's an antiquated standard. And then you can add a description as well. So you can add a description to the link, and sometimes you'll go to a website and you'll see where you hover over a link and it gives you a description. With this description, you can create that type of interface effect for this description on the link. Otherwise, it's more than likely going to be hidden behind the scenes if you don't have it already coded, and it's not already coded into the actual menu setup. So these are all the advanced properties. Everything here is found under screen options. I'm going to hide the screen options for now, and I've selected them all, so now we see all of the options literally here underneath each element and also here on the left. So all of our options are available now. And I've made the change to the Google link, and I'm going to save it. So, and I will go out to the front page, and originally, because this page has not been refreshed, if I click on this Google link, it opens Google in the same tab. So this is the original version. If I click here, see, it just opened Google in a new tab, or in the same tab. But if I go back, I click the back button, and I just refresh the page, because I selected the link target to be an external link, now if I click on Google, it takes me to a separate tab, and it will keep the user on my website. And that's what I would love to have happen for any external link on my website. So that's a little bit about the menu area. It's 10:08. We have a few more minutes, so what we're going to do is we're going to build one more menu. Actually, first, before we build one more menu, we're going to go over the locations of the menu. This theme that we're currently using has one location, I believe. So let's click on location, and we see under manage locations, we have theme location, and we have primary menu. So that's the one location that is on this theme. As I mentioned, many themes have 3 locations by default. This one has 1 location. But it's like it shouldn't be a concern. You may be like, oh man, what if I want to put a menu in the foot of my website? Well, even if you only have 1 location, sometimes it's not a bad thing, because you can set up different widget areas to contain your menus as well. But since we have 1 location, we're going to work with that. We have created also 1 menu primary. We're going to go back to edit menus, and we'll just add an element or 2 to this menu. So currently we have sample page 2, we have new post, and we have Google link inside of the menu. We can also add a category into the menu. There's really only 1 category. We haven't created many categories yet, but we can add the category of uncategorized if we want to. I think that would be a little bit redundant. There's tags in this format. So in order for you to actually really add categories, you need to create categories. But since this is a category, let's just do it, since I don't want to go back and create a category right now. We'll just add that to the menu, and we've got our category. Save our menu, make sure you save, and we're going to go back out to the website, and we press refresh. Uncategorized is now in the menu. I click on that, it's going to pull up an archive of every blog post that's uncategorized. Right now, there's none and uncategorized. There's really only 1 blog post. Let's go to our blog post really quick. All posts. And there's two blog posts in here, new posts and hello world. So yeah, it kind of boggles my mind right now as to why there are no posts appearing in this area. So what I'll do is I will click on the actual category here, and yeah, I'm a little confused. I'll have to go back and change this up. It may be just something with the way the theme is created. I'm going to open this post in a new tab because I want to really quickly just check this out. So we see there's a new post. Here's categories here on the right side as well. I'm going to click on that. and it should bring up the post. There's obviously something going on or something wrong with this theme, and so the way it's set up, and I don't have enough time to go through and cover all of that. So anyway, let's see. Let's stop this broadcast here, or stop the screen broadcast. Let's see. Thing you showed had 4 columns, each with an icon. Where can we get icons and use those? I'm looking at the questions because now we're going to go into Q&A. I see that Mac had the question, and the question is this: the thing you showed had 4 columns, each with an icon. Where can we get icons and use them in those columns? Which role other than the administrator can moderate comments? Okay, here's 3 questions. And which role other than the administrator can moderate comments? Excuse me, so 2 questions. All right, so first of all, where can we get, let's see, where can we get icons and use them in those columns? Okay, so there are several places that you can get icons from, and what I will do is show you a few. Let me share my browser here. Now, WordPress has a like something called dash icons, and dash icons are WordPress themed icons, and they're helpful for developers. You can use these on your website as well. Dash icons are very, very helpful, and they're kind of WordPress themed icons. And there's more dash icons being added all of the time. If you go to developer.wordpress.org/resource/dash-icons, it's going to bring you to the page where you have all of these icons for your dashboard. You can use these in your dashboard. You can use them elsewhere. There's another website I love to use, and it has limitless icons. Flaticon.com has a lot of icons here. A lot of vector icons that you can use for your projects. They have a way for you to donate to them as well, and register and get a membership with them as well. So a lot of these dash icons ask for credit as well. Let's see, and the other question is, which role other than administrator can moderate comments? So when it comes to roles and capabilities, other than administrator, the other roles that can moderate comment, let's go back to roles. It's the administrator, and the 2 roles underneath it is going to be I believe it's the author can moderate comments. Actually, if I go here, there's a cool graph down here at the bottom. And this, if you still see my screen, yes, there, you see my screen. On this codex right here, it shows me which roles can do what. So if I go to moderate comments under capability, it's super admin, the admin, and the editor that can moderate comments. So this chart here gives me in-depth details of every capability of each role. So as you go up the chart, it gets more narrow because the super administrator is the only one who can do certain capabilities on the network, but then on a regular WordPress install, the super admin and the administrator are able to do some of these top level roles like create users, delete plugins, delete users, edit files, edit plugins, edit theme options, edit themes, all these things. And you could also create a custom user that would allow you to, you know, mix up these roles. I mean, you could create a custom user who could only do something like read, which is the lowest level capability, and then you could add the capability to this user that they can read. They can only read posts and activate plugins, or read posts and edit files, or delete users. I mean, you can make any mixture of these different capabilities with those roles and capabilities plugins that I showed you earlier. And so this is a really great chart here. If you want to know a little bit more about it, these roles and capabilities, codex.wordpress.org/roles_and_capabilities. So those, hopefully that answers your questions as well. Let's see, it's 10:18. Are there any other questions currently? Or did I answer both of your questions as well, Mac? Yes, awesome. Okay, cool. So 10:18, we're kind of at the end of this broadcast, and if there are any other questions, feel free to ask me. You can ask me via Twitter. You can come to the Saturday School website. Sorry, not Saturday School website. The Inland Empire WP.com website. You can come here, and you can navigate to the contact page, and you can add questions there through the contact page. Contact me there, and ask questions throughout the week. If you do have any questions, contact me on Facebook. Like I said, the Facebook group. If you would like to become a part of the Facebook group, go back to the announcements at the beginning of the broadcast. This is going to be archived on YouTube. And thank you all for joining. I'm just going to go ahead and end this broadcast at this moment if there are no other questions. If there are no other questions, then have a great week. And thanks again for joining Saturday School for another week. Have a great day, y'all.